I'd like to call our meeting to order, and thank you all for being out here on a winter rainy night. The good news is we're going to have another day or so of rain. Well, that's not the good news, but we don't need more rain right now. But 2 days there's some sunshine forecast, so keep praying for that, and I hope it will happen. As always, in District 5, we've got a lot of wonderful things going on, a lot of great announcements, and it's that time of year. And I'll have to be remiss if I didn't say again, we're having some have had some more tragedy in our school district. So I just ask you as a community to continue to pray for some of the things that have gone on in our district. And ending on a high note, on behalf of the board, we really appreciate the nice thank you notes that we've gotten for the budget amendments that we were able to do because of great budgeting and a great finance department and good spending habits and competitive bids. And we appreciate those folks that are sending notes saying thank you, but we're just saying thank you to you for a job that continues to be over the top and great. So thank you so much. And with that, I would just again welcome you here tonight, and I would like to ask Mr. Lovelace to lead us in our invocation. Mr. Lovelace.
Is this on?
Green light.
Yeah, green light.
Okay. God, our Creator, may we ask that we be granted peace and understanding. We ask relief for all those who are ill and suffering. Our community is saddened by the recent losses of our staff, our friends, and our students. May you lift up their loved ones and provide peace and comfort during these times of grief. In God's name we pray.
And if you will, please stand. Mr. Lovelace is going to also lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Lovelace. Brings us to item 8, and I'd like to inform everybody in the room and every well-wisher I've had that my health is doing really well, so I thank you for that. I thank you for those good wishes. And I'd also let you know the Lord is answering a lot of prayers for myself and my family, and I thank the Lord for that. And I'm going to fill you in on something that's probably the worst kept secret in District 5 today, because I've had some phone calls about it, so, but I'm going to fill you in on it anyway. I've got a little statement I want to read in regards to item 8. During my years of service in School District 5, I have always placed a high priority on our students, faculty, and community. Now I find myself at a point in life where I believe that serving as board chair requires more time than I can give to achieve that standard and fulfill my personal and family obligations. Time with family is precious, and I intend to have more quality time with my family in the future. Serving on Election 5 school board involves a lot more than our regular business meetings like tonight. Serving as chairman, which has been an absolute honor in my life, can at times be very time consuming because I love District 5 and only want the best of everything that it stands for. Laura, my family, and I have determined that it's time for me to step down as board chair and allow one of my able and very capable peers to fulfill that role. Schools aren't as much about blueprints as they are about footprints. Children's footprints and our community footprint is strong. District 5's reputation for great students and great schools is known and revered in South Carolina and nationally. Service as board chair involves a great deal of additional time and work, and without that responsibility, I will continue to work and serve as a member of the board and give my heart, time, and effort to that role. Serving as a volunteer, just like many of you in our schools for 18 years prior to becoming almost a 20-year board member at this time, striving for continued success of District 5 has been one of my great passions in life, and I intend to continue. that service with the same love, care, devotion that I've given throughout my service. Thank you. And I signed it. I'm gonna give this to our secretary to put on the record. And I'll let you know that last week I informed Mr. Cates of my intent to do that tonight. And Mr. Cates, I have fulfilled what I've said, and Madam Vice Chair, I am with this tendering my resignation as chair. So I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, excuse me, thank you, Mr. Gant. We almost have no words, and I'm not gonna, say too much tonight, because I know it is emotional, and you have given so much to the school district, and you've given so much to the school district and as our chair. So we do appreciate that, and it is a lot of time to be chair. Was fortunate enough to serve in that role for a few years. But next, according to Administrative Rule AR BDR, Organization of the School Board, the vice chairman will have the powers and duties of the chairman in his or her absence or during his or her disability, and such other powers and duties as the board may need from time to time, or the board may determine from time to time. You'll see on item 8 on tonight's agenda is the consideration of an action relating to a board member's resignation from a board office, election of necessary replacement office or officers pursuant to Board Policy BD, which provides that vacancies in the above-mentioned offices will be filled by the board at its discretion. Therefore, that is what we'll do tonight. Thus, I will now accept nominations from the chair. Oh, I mean, office of chair, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Gant.
Ms. Hutchison, I'd like to nominate Mr. Michael Cates for the office of chairperson.
Is there a second? Mr. White seconds. Mr. Cates, if elected, do you agree to serve?
I do, and if elected, I will resign as secretary of the board.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Mr. Lovelace.
I would like to nominate the Honorable Jan Hammond.
Okay. Is there a second? Ms. Gardner. Ms. Hammond, if elected, do you agree to serve?
I would, and I'd consider it an honor.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations? Seeing none. For the nomination of Ms. Jan Hammond, all in favor, please raise your hands. For the nomination of Mr. Cates, all in favor, please raise your hands. Congratulations, Mr. Cates. You are the new chairman of the Board of Trustees for School District 5 of Richland and Lexington Counties. As the new chairman, I will turn this meeting over to you.
Thank you, and it's always a privilege to serve, and I accept that as an honor. And I want to say, I reflect when Dr. Hefner retired, and I thought about how education had been impacted by his service. And while we are fortunate that Mr. Gant continues to serve on this board, our district is in a better place because of Robert Gant's service. And we are fortunate that someone would give the time and the energy. I know the sacrifice that Laura and the family have experienced, and I just want you to join me in a public acknowledgement of Mr. Gant. Job well done.
Thank you so much.
We'll now move on to elect the office of Secretary for the Board, and I'll consider the nominations open for that position. Ms. Hammond,
I'd like to nominate Nikki Gardner.
is there a second? Mr. Lovelace seconds. Ms. Gardner, if elected, are you willing to serve in this position? It's all good. Are there other nominations for the office of secretary? Mr. White,
I'd like to nominate Robert Gant.
is there a second?
I second that.
Ms. Hutchison seconds. Mr. Gant, if elected, are you willing to serve as secretary to the board?
Yes, I will.
Are there other nominations? Hearing no other nominations, I'll first present the name of Robert Gant. As many as favor the election of Robert Gant as secretary of the board, please raise your hand. Ms. Strange, do you have that recorded?
Yes, sir.
And as many as favor the election of Ms. Nikki Gardner to secretary of the board, please raise your hand. Ms. Strange, you got that? Thank you. Mr. Robert Gant has been elected to serve as secretary to the board. Thank you, Mr. Gant.